and welcome to another stream. Actually, let me turn on another light. Okay. So let me take a look at what we have going on here. I think this is just drawing. Move some of these things around. Okay, so I have a few things that need to be trimmed. Okay, here. So this bowl needs to be trimmed. Our candle holder is done now, and that is drying. Okay, so I think I don't want to like bore you guys with too many trimming videos because I don't know, there's a lot of that going on. So I think we'll continue with this strawberry container. Well, this one is like, it is like another like trimming video, but we need to do some adjusting with, I have to kind of figure out like how it's gonna like sit on here, and like I think I have to add like a little thing on this, on the lid and stuff. I'm not like 100% sure how this should look, but I definitely knew we had to kind of dry out a little bit. So this is gonna have some trimming, but we have to kind of like work on this, and hopefully the strawberry is okay. The last time I made it, it broke off. Okay, so I think trying to kind of like think through what this is supposed to do. Okay, so I think we're gonna like keep this, but I'm gonna like trim it down so it's like not a weird shape. And then I feel like we do have to add, I want to say it's a flange, but I'm not really sure, to the lid. I think we have to do that too. So then it doesn't like move around when you try to like set it on there. It should like fit really well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I think we'll just kind of like start carving this a little bit. I should draw out where I'm gonna carve. Maybe I should like plan this a little bit more than I have. Okay. Kind of thinking maybe this much, and then if we want to carve more, we can. Okay, I'm just gonna say this is not a how-to video because I probably should have like looked this up more, like how it's supposed to sit. I'm kind of like, I have this little container. I didn't make this, but I got it at a vintage store. So that's what this one is doing. It kind of, this one kind of like goes in, and then that leaves a spot for the top to sit. But there's also this little ring here that keeps it from completely like sliding off of the top. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe we'll have this curve like downwards. Maybe that would be cute. When we're done trimming it. So that's kind of like where I'm thinking. But this is not a how-to video because I'm like, I'm not 100% sure about how this is going. I'm just like, this video is just gonna be like, the stream videos are all kind of just like watching me work. It's kind of like a day in the life kind of a thing. I have one video, I have one like how-to video for making a paint palette. But I'm working on making some more to add to my YouTube channel. So those ones are kind of like, those ones are just dedicated videos, so people don't have to watch the streams and like sit through a really long stream or like trying to find stuff in the streams, because there's some random things that are going on in the streams. And the streams are more like kind of like a day in the life, although I don't spend all day doing ceramics. I wish, but we're not there yet. I basically just, I'm basically streaming during my hour lunch during work. So that's when I do this, and then that's why it is only an hour long, and it's not longer like how other streams maybe like 3 hours or something, or like, I don't know, whatever. I've seen some really long streams on Twitch, so that is the reason for that. Okay. It looks really wonky. But it's like, it's not like it's a pinch pot, so it's not like a perfect shape. It looks really funny. I don't know. I think let's try to just like carve this into more of a circle, even though I think it is following this kind of like abrupt edge. Okay, just gonna be careful because I'm not following like my line drawing anymore. Okay, I'm just kind of trying to see like how this looks at my angle. Can I touch this up over here? Let's carve like, it has a pretty, like this rim is like pretty thick. So I think we'll just kind of like go in there with this little tool and trim that and kind of like just whatever, it can stay in there. Just kind of like that corner kind of area where it meets the top. I think I'm gonna like adjust that a little bit. It's a little messy on the inside here. I should just like, I think I'll move that and then put my little cup here. Okay, I just want to be like really careful not to cut too much off because I don't think we want to be like too thin. I just don't want it to be like too thick and then it's just not quite, it doesn't have like that kind of elegance. If it was, compared to if it was thinner. So I'm just gonna like, give me some of these globs. Not all potters will like, I've heard some people don't trim on the inside. I don't know, I think they say it's like a waste of time or something. I usually do, but I definitely want to trim the inside because I really like the pinched look that you can, get with like the, obviously like the pinch pot method. So I don't want to carve that out, but it is a little, the body's a little bit too thick. So we're gonna carve the inside and then we can keep those kind of like fingerprint kind of like marks and stuff. if I didn't trim it, it would just be kind of like, just kind of clunky. Like, when you trim stuff, you can actually like, well, depending on like how thick it is, but I mean, for the most part, there's like quite a lot of clay that you can get out of there. Or at least like when I'm making stuff there is. So you can really get like a nice kind of more of like a petite feel out of the stuff that you're making. And I kind of prefer that. I mean, there are definitely artists that like, it's just kind of part of their style not to trim or whatever. And that might, you know, it just kind of like includes like a lot of practice to just make a pot the right kind of thickness so that you don't have to trim it. So there's definitely that, but that is why we're doing the inside, if you're wondering. And then all of this clay that we're trimming out of here, I'm gonna throw that into my reclaim bucket, and then we can use that for something else. Like, probably like a nice tiny vase out of what we're gonna get out of this thing. So like, in my case, we're saving some clay, which is cool. I don't think this should take much longer. I kind of just want to get a bunch of like large chunks out of here. Oops. Okay, I'll check the thickness. Okay, and I do usually trim the foot a little bit just to like how I want it, because it doesn't really match the rest of it. Like, it's really bumpy over here. So I do usually trim the foot a little bit on the side. And this is like, this area is usually where it's like where pots are the thickest. So we can also take some of that weight out from it here too. But otherwise I keep the walls like probably, I probably don't trim the walls like at all or very much. Oops. Okay, I think that grabbed a little bit too much. Okay, so I just kind of want the foot to look nice and round. Like fairly round. Maybe not like perfect, but I just kind of want to make it look like pretty nice. Wait a second. I feel like it's a little bit ovalish. Okay, I'm just gonna fix up the side a tiny bit where it reaches like where we trimmed. So now it kind of like blends in a little bit more. So let's do a little bit of the bottom here. Let's see how thick this is. It's a little bit thin. I just kind of want to fix it up a tiny bit. And then I'm gonna grab some water and just like put this here so it smooths that area. Okay, and I just kind of want that to, I just want this bottom part to dry a little bit so that when we are finished with other parts of it later, it'll be ready for me to put my stamp in it. It doesn't really work as well if it's like really wet when I try to put the stamp in. So we'll just do that later. Okay, so I'm just fixing up the bottom and inside a little bit. It is pretty thin, so we don't want to like get too much. Trim too much of the bottom there. Okay. All right. So I don't think you guys can really see the inside. It's really, I don't know. It looks really dark. From looking at my phone. Okay. Okay. I wonder if I don't know if I want to trim this in more or not. Oh yeah, I kind of wanted to like put it at an angle. So let's add some water. And then just kind of like let that soak in there. And then maybe it will let me move it without cracking too much. Okay, let me just kind of like fix up this side too. Okay, so I think the best way that you would like fire a lidded container is together like this, instead of like firing them as separate objects. Like it would actually sit on top of it. I'm pretty sure that's like the best way, because I think like I think they might wiggle around and like move a little bit more otherwise or something. So we kind of have to plan this. We have to plan like the shape of it and like what parts are gonna be glazed and which parts are not gonna be glazed. So obviously where this top one is touching it, it can't be glazed there. So, so that's just kind of like something I'm trying to keep in mind while we are working on this. If that has anything to do with like, I don't know, the shape of it. I'm not really sure, but that is something I will be keeping in mind. Where I wanted to grab the tool from my toolbox over here. I think I want to fix the strawberry a little bit. I think I want like maybe like this one. it's like really blurry. So I think I'm gonna touch up the strawberry a little bit. Because I really want the strawberry to look nice before this whole thing just like dries and then we can't fix it. The strawberry is like, it's very like cracked and okay, so let's kind of like fix this up. I want to like, when we're done like with these cracks and stuff, I want to do like little, I'm gonna like poke into it with little seeds. I actually don't know if that would just like, I don't know if like when the underglaze and glaze are added, if you'd even be able to see it. I'm not really like a sculptor type of ceramic artist, so this part is pretty new to me. Like I said, let me see, where is it? Okay, so earlier, so I made this one, and then yeah, it looks so bad right now. I had the little strawberry like on top, and it was connected, but then when it dried, it just like fell off. But this is kind of what I'm thinking about, and I kind of like poked little holes in it, and those are gonna be like the seeds. But actually now I don't know if like, because when we start kind of like adding the decoration, I don't know if like these little seed holes are really gonna, I don't know if you're even gonna be able to see them. I guess we'll see. I mean, I kind of like it if you could see them, but maybe not. We'll see. And yeah, it's been rolling around on my desk here for too long, so all of the stems and stuff kind of broke off. But this is what we are trying to do, but more successfully. So yeah, so I have that attempt. That's more of like a sculpting attempt, and then I had this little, I don't think this is really sculpting, but I also did this little barn. But it doesn't like, I want to remake it so that the roof like fits on like this, the front and the back side better. So we're just learning. We're learning here. Yeah. So I don't know how well this strawberry portion of this is gonna turn out. Hopefully we can get it to, well, once we finish these details and stuff, and hopefully when it dries, it doesn't like fall off or crack. Those are my like two main concerns, because that's what happens. Okay, I don't know if that's really doing anything for me. I think I might try getting it a little bit wet and just kind of like maybe try to touch it up from here. It's so tiny. Also, that barn I had that one's also way too tiny. So next go at that, we haven't started the second one, but when we do, it's gonna be bigger. I don't know if this tool is really helping like at all. I think one problem with the strawberry is that I wanted the leaves to not be like on the side of it, like touching it, but I think maybe it'll be better off like for drying and stuff that the leaves are just kind of wrapping around it. I think that's going to be better drawing wise. Oh, and the box of tools that I have, including this one, these are all like cake decorating tools. The ones that are like this, not the ones I was using earlier for trimming. These ones are like, I have a bunch of them for like, it's for like fondant work, and it's basically very similar to like what you would want for sculpting clay. So the bakery aisle can be pretty useful for this type of ceramic work. They also have kind of like banding wheels, sort of like this, but for cake. I don't really know if there's much of a difference other than the fact that it spins. I feel like there might be a weight thing. Maybe. Like, I don't know if the ceramic ones are able to take on more weight than cake ones. But cakes can be like kind of heavy too. If you know the answer to that, let me know in the chat or comments. Because there are definitely some similarities in cake decorating, at least in kind of like the fondant work and some of the tools. I have a lot of spatulas. They're obviously like for baking, but it's great for like moving clay around, like my reclaim, or I don't know, just kind of like scooping clay out of my like buckets and stuff. I also have a video on my YouTube. My YouTube's like it's Callie & Co. also. And I have a video on there that shows like a lot more of the tools that I use like in my day-to-day. Like the tools that I use the most, and kind of like a whole like studio setup that I have in my apartment. If you're interested in that. I show some other tools that I don't use as often, but maybe that's kind of handy too. They're just like ceramic artists are just like very very crafty, and we'll find like just all kinds of stuff to get the results that they want. So that could be in like carving tools, or just stuff in the studio, just like very like handy things. I have a lot of stuff that comes from like baking, but also like painting too. Like I have paint stir sticks that I love, palette knives, like a house painter kind of stuff. My plastic bag, or not, they're not bags really. These are like plastic sheets that I have. That's from like it's like what a painter would put down to paint like a living room. And I just cut it up, and those are just like, they're so like handy. And then when they get like full of clay, I just wipe them down with my sponge. Yeah, just like kind of all kinds of stuff you can find. I'd say like whatever, I think like most of the time whatever works for you is probably fine for the most part. I also have like a rolling pin that has little bumpers on the side for like certain heights, and that's great for slab building clay. At least like in my kind of like smaller like workspace. I don't really want to say I'm a hobby ceramist, but like that, I would say that's kind of like the level of how much I'm putting out. Like, it's all for like my small business, so it's not like exclusively a hobby, but I would say that like how much stuff I'm actually making and and then adding to my website is probably maybe around how much a hobbyist would do. It's not a lot because I have a day job. Oh, hi, Robert. Oh, I'm making chili and some mac and cheese. Cool. Okay, I have to ask, is your name actually Robert? I was just like, I've been thinking that. Like, I always call him Robert because that's what his tag is, but I actually don't know. So I guess that's kind of weird. um, yeah, so I don't know what else I have. Obviously, if you're making like jewelry, you're gonna be using a lot of stuff like a jewelry maker would use. Although, I have them right here so I can show them. I have these little, these like you poke into the little clay thing that is going to be like probably for, well, I guess it doesn't matter if it's like a necklace or an earring, but you just like shove it in there, and like these are specially made to go in the kiln, or else they would, if it if it wasn't, it would just melt in the kiln. So like some stuff that's actually gonna go in the kiln for like jewelry, it has to be special, but otherwise like the like actual necklace part or something, those are just from jewelry making. I already have some of those. Oh, okay, cool. I was also wondering if I was wondering, do you do any ceramics, Robert, or are you like an artist? We're usually talking about other things. I just kind of like thought about that, like, I don't know. Let me see. I think we need to do, okay, I have to touch up some of these like areas where I pushed the clay around. So I am planning on underglazing the strawberry and putting like a clear glaze on top of it. I just realized I haven't really like thought about what the rest of it's gonna be. I don't know if it's a little too risky to do a clear glaze on the strawberry, but then like a different glaze on here. I'm not entirely sure about that. So I don't know. I had to think about that. What I want to do exactly. I don't know. I think we might play it safe and just do everything with an underglaze and then do a clear glaze on the top and bottom. That's like the safer thing to do. So that might be what we're gonna do. And we don't have to make this exactly perfect because the underglaze and the glaze is gonna fill it up a little bit. So some of these areas that we are trying to touch up that might not quite reach, I think they'll be okay because I think they'll get kind of covered up with some of that underglaze and glaze. Okay. I'm just trying to make it like as nice as I can though. Okay. Oh, you like to do photography? That's cool. Are you excited for like all the fall colors coming out? Um, I'm not really a photography person. Um, well, I have to because like I have to take my own product shots when I like put them on my website. But I'm not really like not really in an art way. Like into photography, I think it's like too complicated. Actually, I feel like maybe you told me you do photography before. I can't quite remember. um it's like I don't know, photography is like it's so technical. I don't think I can really like do it cuz I kind of like I like to just um I kind of like to just do whatever and then um I don't know. And then it turns into something. Like I'd say like well, I'm not like a pro at like throwing on the wheel, but I would say a lot of the time I have something in mind and then it just changes into something different. And sometimes it's all right, you know, it's cool. But then sometimes I'm like, oh man, I was really hoping I could make this specific thing that I wanted. Um, so that's definitely kind of like a experience thing. I just need to like work at that more. But it is, I like it. It's kind of fun to like just, I like to just go at it and see what happens. Oh, yeah. Um, yeah, I think like photography is like, I think a lot of people really like photography because like you're just like capturing like moments and that's like really great. Um, my partner Jason, he kind of like, mm, well, he's like thinking about getting a camera, um, but he likes to like take photos like in the airplane, like of like I don't know whatever, the trees changing colors or um, here in Oregon we have like a lot of mountains. Um, and that's pretty cool. He used to do like some photography for work, not really like um, super fancy stuff. But I guess they turned out all right. I don't know. And they would like I don't know sell like photos and stuff. Um, he's a he's a pilot, so he's always like I don't know seeing cool views and stuff. Okay, so I think I just want to fix the top of this lid to be relatively like smooth and even, and then we'll go and I think I want to go and cut out like a majority of the bulk. It's like really it's like a centimeter thick. So I think we're gonna cut out most of the bulk like from the the bottom side. Oh, you used to live in Oregon? That's cool. I don't know where that is because I don't know where like anything is. I know like a few places here, but not a lot. Mostly just I don't know, mostly things that are like around Portland. Like I know things like Salem and like Eugene or like some coast places. I haven't really traveled around here that much. I'd like to see more of like more places that are here. Okay. I don't have a car and I don't drive. Well, I could drive if I wanted to, but I don't have a car, so I don't really like know where that is. Okay. I think we are getting pretty close with this. Or, well, like the top part at least. Hopefully we can make trim around this a bit because it's like a really weird shape right now. Okay. I think this is looking pretty good. Oops. Okay. What is that? Is that like a hole? Or maybe it's like... No, it's like a black piece of something. Okay. That's fine. Anything that like is like organic will like just kind of disintegrate in the kiln. So if that was like, I don't know, a piece of like fluff or like fur or something, it would just like, you wouldn't even see it. It would just like burn up in the kiln and not really, it wouldn't do anything. So that's okay. I have no idea what it is, but it's definitely not glaze. That would be like, well, I guess I don't really know what it would do if it went into a bisque fire with glaze on it. I don't think it would really do anything, actually. Okay. Oh yeah, let's use, okay, so I have this thing. And then this is perfect. I was showing this in my other video, how you can use these things for carving. So this is perfect because it will hold it there, and then our strawberry won't like be hitting like the table while we're trying to carve it. Okay, that's like pretty far out. So why did you move to Ohio? I don't know. For me, that sounds pretty random. I'm from Michigan and I don't really know what's in Ohio, but Um, yeah. I don't really know like much about it. It's just kind of, I don't know. I think it sounds very chill. Um, Kind of like the lower peninsula of Michigan. Oh, you're from, oh, okay. I feel like that makes sense. Yeah. I'm from the upper peninsula of Michigan, and it's just like it's really nice, but um it's kind of like I think it's kind of like somewhere you would go if you're retired. Um there's just not a lot there work wise. Um and I had to like leave um to like find work. Otherwise I do really like Michigan. They're really nice places. Um my sister lives um down in the Detroit area, and there's some really nice like areas down there, but I mean, for the most part, or at least like when I was looking for a job a few years ago, there just wasn't really much out there. I don't know if that's just like city wise or just the type of businesses they have, more mostly in Detroit. There's not really there's not really a lot else in Michigan. I mean, there's like Lansing and like Grand Rapids, but um, there just wasn't really a lot um, for me working as like a graphic designer. So I just kind of like already had in mind that I would probably have to like go to a different state for work. Um, and then that's why I actually moved to Nebraska because that was like I applied to a university there to work at the university in marketing. And that was like the only place that it was the first place that was like a decent job offer that I got outside of college. So I was just like, I guess I have to take this because like there's just like I don't know. Like even though I worked in graphic design, in marketing for 3 years, um, during college, I don't think a lot of places really counted that as any experience. And they're just like, well, if you don't have experience, we don't want you. And it's like, okay, but how am I supposed to get experience if you won't hire me? So I just kind of like, I had to move to Nebraska for that. And then um, I was there for like 3 years. I didn't really like it there because it's just so starkly different from Michigan. Oh, that's my alarm. Okay, we have to cut this short because I have to go back to work. But so I worked there for 3 years, and then luckily that was just kind of like I knew I wanted to move like somewhere else because I didn't like it there. It's just so different from Michigan. Um, and Portland's always been on my mind because it's it has a lot of kind of like waterfront and the mountains and the forests and the art culture. Just all of that is what drew me here. In addition to like kind kind of like the weather and how temperate it is. Like Nebraska is like way too hot. I mean, it does actually get really hot here too, I guess. It's not supposed to, but I don't know, just like all of these things just kind of like added up. And I was like, I think Oregon sounds pretty cool. So that's how I ended up here. But I think if I was like, I don't know, I do really like it here, but maybe if I was retired, maybe I would go back to Michigan. I don't know. I'm not sure. I love Mackinac Island like so much. It'd be cool to have like a house there, but also that's like extremely expensive. I love the horses, and I love like the idea of like riding around on your horse and like having a horse and buggy. And that's just like so fun to me. I think that'd be like so cool. Okay, anyway, I had to go back to work because it's been an hour. So we will have to continue this strawberry container later, but we are making some progress. We still have to carve out a bunch of this bulk from the top. We're gonna add a ring here. I think it's called a flange, or maybe that's the flange. I'm not sure, but there has to be one added here too, I think. And then we just have to smooth it out, and I think it will be done. So we'll work on that tomorrow. So yeah. So thank you so much for joining, Robert. And if anybody else is there, I can't see. But yeah. So if you're watching on Twitch, be sure to follow along to the channel. And then all the stream videos will be uploaded to YouTube at Callie & Co. under the Stream Archive playlist. And that's where you can see all of the other videos. We have somewhere around 20 up there right now. And then we're gonna also have other, we're gonna have like other ceramic and art related videos too, added to the YouTube. So be sure to subscribe so you know when we have videos coming out. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye.